So a question on my mind is, how did this little kid in a very backwards place like Virginia ever get involved with a wider world and a bigger future? And I think a lot of it had to do with this thing, or what Marshall McLuhan called the medium or process electronic technology that's changing our culture. It brought us a window into a much bigger world than I ever would have seen from our town in Virginia. Once a week, this guy, Walt Disney, would come on TV and he would tell us all about California and Disneyland and all these amazing things. And what caught my attention was Tomorrowland. I was obsessed with Tomorrowland. I kept begging my parents, would you please, can you take us to California? Can we go to Disneyland? Please, let's go to Disneyland. And they'd explain, well, no, we live in Virginia. California's the other side. You know, we can't go to Disneyland. So I kept badgering them, but we never did make it to Disneyland. But one year, my parents did take us to the New York World's Fair. And this blew the top off of my head. All of a sudden, we were in this literal global village with all these exhibits from different countries and amazing things. I couldn't believe the buildings and the colors and the shapes. And I was pretty young. I had no idea who did this kind of work or how it got done. But all I knew from that moment is that's what I want to do. Whoever these people are, whatever they're doing, I want to be one of them. One of the coolest exhibits was the IBM Pavilion. So you'd walk into this exhibit, sit down on a row of bleachers, and then the whole collection of bleachers, hundreds of people, would get sucked up into this giant egg on top. So the egg turned out to be the inside of a brain. I didn't know it at the time, but this was an exhibit created by Charles Eames that was the first multi-screen, multimedia exhibit ever done. He was trying to teach basics about computers, and I didn't realize that either. But I just was mesmerized by all these moving images trying to almost hypnotize you. And this stuck with me. So I came back to Virginia with just a much bigger sense of the world and a much bigger curiosity about the world.